me ask you all a question. Has anyone ever made a social media post? Maybe a couple friends like it, maybe you get a comment, maybe your mom shared it. You don't get the leads, you don't get the customers, you don't get the sales, you just don't really get out of your post what you expected. I've done that a lot. So a lot of trial and error. But so social media, AI, it's not just all about the algorithm. That's a big part of it, but there's a strategy, the content you post, what time you post it, the message you're sending, your hook, the content, some of the body, like your search engine optimization. There's a lot that goes into making a post. So we're going to be talking about strategy. We're going to talk about today's algorithm, talk about using AI for efficiency. Here's my Basset Hound Wilford. So you can see he's a very dynamic character. So if he's posting on Facebook, we're going to be looking more like local business, more community, more group oriented. It's a little bit different of a platform in that regard, like relationships, conversational, it's a little different. Now, if you go to something like Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, that's going to be more visual. So you got a lot of like pictures, a lot of like reels. There's still text on the bottom. You're still hashtagging it, but the main focus is going to be more of a visual. So if you're doing something like that, you might be doing like you might see somebody famous showing some shoes, getting paid for doing a sponsorship or something like that. So the advertising is a little bit different over on Instagram. LinkedIn, the platform is more professional, more business to business, more hiring oriented. So I guess when you're picking where you're going to post your content, really need to think, what is the purpose of the post? What is my goal? Who I want to show this to? I'm not even going to talk about his Tinder profile. He's totally inappropriate. We're going to move on. So the anatomy of a post. So what goes into a post when you're making a post? So first, you gotta hook them. You gotta get your hooks in. You can't let them scroll on. So the very first thing, visually, if it's a picture, you need to show them something amazing, something that causes somebody to pause. The platform will see that. They will understand that people want to see this. As far as your text goes, your hook is very important. Like this is just very brief. Rear ends are on the way. We're shipping stuff out. So not a lot going on there, but this text that you see, like whenever you have text on the top or text on the bottom and it says, like see more, that first couple lines of digital real estate, you got to hook them with that. That's where you got to get your claws in. You can't let them get beyond that. So very important to use that digital real estate. Also, speaking of digital real estate, shooting something tall, using a tall format as opposed to something square gives you more space. So next, quality. Your audio and video equipment. Darlicia, plug your ears. Started with like a cell phone, moving into other equipment, different lighting. I'll show you some of that in a minute. But as far as the quality goes, you're going to want to. You need plenty of lighting. You can look up online. Photography tips for beginners or videography. Get some tips on getting plenty of lighting. Upgrade some audio equipment. I started in a garage with grainy videos with terrible lighting using a cell phone. It's terrible. Like it's the worst. But the more you do it, the better you get. The more success you see, the more you'll want to invest in your equipment. It takes a lot of steps. The message, talking about getting the hook, in the beginning, that's the first part. But in the body of your message, you want to send a clear message. This is what we're doing. Give them a call to action. Whether you're trying to get them to go to your website, you're trying to generate web traffic, or you're trying to get them to call you, like a call now button. Tell the customer what you want them to do. Tell them to call you. Be clear in your message. As far as tagging the post, there's a lot of options. Like if you're selling coffee in Dunkirk, you're going to want to tell people you're in Dunkirk because your social media platform is going to show it to people in your area. So that's important. You can see here, we tagged a couple of our suppliers, Willwood and Quick Performance. We got a lot of their parts, on the tables there. So trying to get some views from some of their audience, try to generate more views. So use those. And a lot of this, you want to use all these features, but I'm not saying you have to have a Hollywood studio to do this, but you need structure, you need purpose, you need to think about what your goal is, get your hooks in, get good quality, don't let them leave, and it's going to get you a lot better feedback. So using some original content versus polished ads. You can see this first picture. This is AI generated. It's very busy. If I see that, I'm scrolling by it. I don't like to see, I don't want to really feel like I'm watching commercials, if I'm going through a business page. On the second picture, this is a video showing us, using our fork truck, lowering a rear end into a crate. So you can see we're making sure we don't scratch it. We're building trust with the customer, showing a little behind the scenes. It's not real fancy video, but it is original content. So a consumer can see that and kind of realize who they're dealing with and what to expect. Here's another video just explaining different bearing types, ball bearings versus tapered bearings, and just a probably 30 or 40 second video, just something short, something I get a good watch rate. I got my neon sign in the background, wearing my shirt, saying who I am in the video, but I don't want it to look like a polished ad. I want it to look more organic. Talking about the equipment, so I started out with discounted ring lights from Walmart.com and Amazon, the cheapest stuff I could find. I just needed more light so it didn't look so grainy and terrible. So we've these other lights, they diffuse the light better. They're a step in the right direction. Are they professional grade? No, but you can see we got a little makeshift social media studio here in our shop. We mock it up with car parts and kind of set the stage. So we give that appearance, in our videos of professionalism. But you can see, started out with my cell phone, moved up to a Sony. It's kind of a vlogging type camera, so a lot better video quality. We're just continually investing in our tools for our social media. Also started out with no microphones, and here you can see our wireless Rode mics. Those are really nice. You see people in videos with them clipped on their shirt or something. It's definitely going to give you better audio to invest in something like that. So another strategy, I'm riding this short vertical video train as long as I can. Social media platforms love it. Like you watching the reels, you're watching TikToks, you're watching stuff like that. Platforms, that's what they want to show. So don't fight them. If Facebook wants to show reels, give them reels. They're more likely to show your content. But this is just a short 30, 40 second video explaining how much you can narrow a G-body rear end. You got the backing plate of the drum super close to the brackets. Just kind of telling the customers what to expect here. We get this question a lot, so decided to shoot a video about it. This video, the second video that we shot, you can see that's just, again, 7 or 8 second video, just panning over the shop. We got truck freight. In the actual video, you can see the skid steer running. You can see people working. You can get a look inside our shop. Just trying to build consumer confidence. Just trying to build trust, and just give the customers a little bit of a look at what we're doing. So these are vertical videos. Those are going to be more popular on certain platforms, but also you got horizontal videos. So this is going to be more like YouTube. So when we set up to make YouTube videos, we're going to shoot that in a horizontal format. A lot of people use desktops. You can turn your phone sideways and watch it. Just make sure whatever type of video you're shooting, whether it's horizontal or vertical, it's for the platform and for the purpose of what you're doing. Another strategy, create a series. You can see these videos only have 200 or 300 views a piece, but when we do a series like this in our business, where it's like 12-bolt Chevy rears, 9-inch Ford rears, I go through every tiny little feature I can and shoot a little 3-minute video. So if somebody's looking up something, how to measure this J dimension or something, this is extremely specific. So somebody coming to watch this video, I'm not looking to go viral here. I'm looking for a very specific person. When these people call me and they say, hey, I watched, 3 or 4 of your videos. You're the guy on the videos, aren't you? I'm on the phone with them. That's the best thing ever. Like this person, they've already got confidence. They've already made the choice to pick up the phone. They're already calling me trying to buy, and honestly, they're already sold. They've already built the confidence. So like creating a series like this, if you can do it in your business, it is a great investment in your time. These videos, as long as YouTube doesn't go under, they're going to be up there forever. So that's very successful. Talking about timing. So who you posting to, now when are you going to post it? So generally the internet in general is most busy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the evening, 6 to 8 p.m. So we've posted a lot of content around that time. You can see kind of on our chart here, like we let our stuff go on the weekends. It's a little more active, but we want that Monday through Friday when we're in the office, we're ready to pick up the phone, we're ready to make a sale. We're trying to keep our content being shown to people, while we're there. If you allow it, they'll post up 1 and 2 in the morning. It's to me, I don't see a lot of, you might get leads. They might call tomorrow. They might want to buy something, but I want somebody to call me when I'm ready. So when we have people on the phone ready to buy, ready to call us and buy, that's when we're wanting to show our content. But who are you posting? What are they doing? You got to think about this. Are they parents? Are they race car drivers? Is it a lunch group? Is it, is it business to business? What time of day are you? Just what time of day? Also, use the data. So when you find out what works, roll with it. If you're doing paid advertising, find out when, find out what post works, follow the data. That's the best thing I can say. As far as the message, so searchable questions. So what I mean by that, when I'm writing a hook for like a social media ad or any of our stuff on our website, the first thing I'm doing is I'm thinking, okay, what is the customer going to search? So like if I'm trying to sell a Chevelle rear end and I'm trying to sell you a 12 bolt, I'm going to say, are you looking for a 12 bolt for a, 68 to 72 Chevelle? Then go into the body and explain what we have and say, give us a call. So I'm looking for words like Chevelle, complete rear end, fully assembled, 12 bolt, Dana 60, Ford 9-inch. I'm looking for things I know people are sitting down, they're sitting at Google, and what are they searching for? That's what I'm trying to give to the customer. It's got to be very, very methodical about what I'm putting in my content. Also, I'm putting all that information in the headline, I'm putting it in the body, I'm putting it into the footer, to the point where I look like a crazy person. Because the more you give that, it feeds that search engine optimization. So like the more you give that SEO, the more you see the search terms you're looking for, the better the results are going to be. Retargeting. So retargeting is a good strategy. It's very successful in our business. But we have visitors come to our website, they look at something, they get a text message, phone call, interrupted, whatever, leave the website, you get online, everybody's done it. You get online and you start seeing stuff like I was on this person's website earlier, now I'm getting ads for it. So brings them right back to the website. It's very successful. It works great in our business. Years ago, I didn't know how important this was. We have a marketing firm that takes care of all this linking up all this back end stuff for us now. I know you can do it yourself. There's a lot of like Google tags. There's a lot of web hosting features. There's a lot of ways you can find out. How to link that up, just to get those people back on your website. So understanding the algorithm. So I talked earlier about getting a hook. So getting these people to slow down. The first gate you see here, did they stop scrolling? So if you're on your phone and you're looking, did the person pause? Did they stop? That's the first step. So if you make it past that step, go to the next step. Watch rate is king. So what watch rate is, so like if I have a 10-second video online and they watch it all 10 seconds, they go back and watch it another 5 seconds, you get 150% watch rate. Somebody like TikTok or Facebook, they're gonna recognize that and they're gonna show it to more people. Even beyond that, did they take action? So did they save the post? Did they share the post? Did they comment? Did they like it? The more engagement you get, the more you hook them, stop them in their tracks, the longer they watch it, that opens you up to get broadcasted to a much wider audience. So it's very important. It's very important to think about all these things and post with a purpose to get the most out of it. So earlier I mentioned not going viral, going viral versus targeting your audience. So that'd be great. I post a video, 1 million people like it. That's great. Are these people in Europe, South America? I don't know. I'm not sure where they're coming from. Are they car park buyers? Probably not. It's very random, low quality. Is it nice to get all the views? Sure. But does it translate to sales? Probably not. So kind of like talking about the YouTube series earlier, these people are educated buyers. They're ready to buy. They're looking up very specific information. So these people have watched a very specific video. It's very targeted, and they're on the phone calling you. That's all I can ask for. So using AI to be more efficient. So prompting in AI is everything. My wife goes to a lot of conferences for prompting. It's telling AI, getting out of AI what you get out of AI is directly related to what you put into it. So I use AI a lot for drafts, cleaning stuff up, maybe reformatting a post for a different platform. I don't use it to its full potential, but it gets me in the right direction. And right here at the bottom, this warning, don't let it replace the voice in your business. Your message should be yours. You definitely need to proofread it. You don't want your business to look like it's being run by AI, but it does help you organize and it does help you reduce decision fatigue. So like we were getting ready to go to the lakes, totally forgot to make a social media post. Got on there, said, hey, make a post for Redbird Speed. Going to resume regular activities on Monday. Hashtag it and use some emojis. So it puts up American flags, Happy Independence Day, we'll return Monday, hashtagged it. I don't even think I had to edit it. It's just copy, paste, upload some artwork from Canva. It took me 2 minutes. And had I spent an hour on that, I'm ready to leave, all this is going on. So I just think it really helps you reduce decision fatigue. But again, like I said, don't let it become the voice of your business. So like I said, you can use this for like drafting, like ad copy. You can draft headlines. You can use AI for a lot of different items here, far more than I use it for. But hook ideas, I did use AI for a lot of hook ideas. So I'd be like, give me the top 10 list of ideas for selling this product. I'll go through, find the top 3 or 4, do some A/B testing, see what works, and roll with the winners. Optimizing, so like reformatting, changing the tone of a message or changing the format for a different platform. You can optimize hashtagging stuff. It'll give you popular hashtags, point in the right direction. So a lot of ways to help you out and get you on the right track. So we've talked about strategy, the algorithm, and AI. So I would say use your social media to leverage, use your strategy to leverage your social media. The algorithm, it is changing all the time. So you just have to really kind of keep up with what's going on. It changes so much that I have friends that, the algorithm is changing all the time. I'll reach out to them and see what's going on in their business, but you have to just keep up with that. But use AI just to reduce decision fatigue. Just use it to be more efficient. So what I will say is the social media and AI is not the face of your business. It's not, AI is not going to be your whole business, but it is the face of your business. It's what people see first in your lead generation.
All right, before